Well, here's a discussion that I had with someone in 2001, 14 August 2001. The subject was on inner and outer. Okay. So the person comes and says, this popped into my awareness while reading on the Path Beyond I Am page on inner and outer, quotations, inner and outer. I was having a discussion with a retired philosophy professor friend of mine, George, yesterday regarding, amongst other things, the Cartesian dualism that is established when the description inner and outer is used to refer to our spiritual and physical lives, respectively. Descartes established a famous dualism when he asserted that a person consists of two substances, physical and spiritual. This dualism has a fatal problem called the problem of interaction, aka mind-body problem, which is that these two substances, in order to influence each other, must somehow interact. That is to say, our non-substantial spiritual essences must touch our physical bodies. And for obvious reasons, this historically has been difficult to demonstrate. Franklin Merrill Wolff argues that the substantiality is inversely proportionate to ponderability. So substantial here means a substance of primary essence, or that which is essential to anything, and ponderability means that which the intellect can understand. So my response was, the substance of primary essence, which is source or consciousness, can never be understood by intellect. Intellect with objects is mind, which is created by thought, which is movement of consciousness into energy and form. Therefore, it is only when the five senses and mind have been stilled that which is abstract intelligence or self or source may be entered into and experienced directly. Actually, entered into is not a correct correlation. Absolute is the basis for all that appears as substance. At the heart of all creation, simply that substance is. So they come back to say, his has been explained to me to mean that a rock, while highly ponderable, lacks substantiality, whereas a person to the degree which she is not ponderable is also not substantial. Franklin seemed to, if I say seemed because it could very well be wrong, to hold that the more physical the material, the less it is spiritual. That is to say that rocks are not solid in a spiritual sense, but should be understood as being rather like little vacuums of empty space. This is borne out when one considers the structure of atoms, which consist largely of empty space. The more dense a substance is, the more empty space it contains and consists of. Therefore, according to Merrill Wolff, is less substantial. I'm inclined to agree with the above. However, I came to the conclusion that the terms inner and outer were not useful for describing the spiritual material relationship, as inner and outer are spatial terms, and our spirit is not, in my understanding, spatially related to our bodies, but rather our bodies are manifestations of our spirit and vice versa. Therefore, spirit and physical matter are just two ways of describing the same substance. This omittance of the inner and outer difference resolves the Cartesian issue: substantiality, ponderability, spiritual material, inner, outer. My response was, all is created and sustained by the substance of underlying conscious source. When movement occurs, then the outer form is created and sustained. All outer form is simply made of cognizant energy held in place by mind. Creation is empty in the end of concrete substance. It is simply consciousness that is moving at various vibratory levels, which creates the illusion of more or less substantial. But at the core, it is all stemming from the same source. Love and blessings from the land of zero.